Freedom family, I'm back with another one. Well, this is the first of Freedom's gear reviews. I told you I would try to take this channel in a couple different directions, and I figured I'd try my hand at a gear review. So here's my first shot at it, and the first thing up is going to be a head-to-head between two flashlights. You got the Streamlight Strion LED and the Streamlight Wedge. So I'm going to come right out the gate and say I'm not affiliated with Streamlight in any way or fashion. I'm not like these bigger channels. I'm not getting a paycheck. They don't sponsor my channel or my videos. I went out and bought these on my own. And I'm just bringing you the review to show you two good flashlights. And so maybe you can make a decision if you're looking at one of these either or. And there's two reasons I started with, doing flashlights, because this is the most important item in my kit, in my tool bag. And I know people will say, oh, Freedom, there's many more important items. What about, like a tourniquet, for example, or something like that. Yeah, I mean, a tourniquet will save your life or save someone else's life, but when's the last time you used a tourniquet? I mean, if you're EMT or something like that, then it might be more important. But I use these flashlights every day. And the second reason I decided to do this was because recently I lost this one. This is actually the backup, but this is the flashlight I had before. It was the Strion LED. And you know how they say in the preparedness or survival community, one is none and two is one, or two is one and one is none. But basically, if you only have one, you don't have any at all, because you're gonna lose it and you need a backup plan. And on that note, September is also preparedness month, so I might do some more videos on that. Let me know what you guys think about that, if you want to see more reviews, and please like, share, and subscribe to help me out. But yeah, on that note, let's wait till dark and, test these things out. Alright, well, you look at that. It's already dark. But yeah, first up is the Strion LED. This one definitely has more of a focus beam effect to it. And you can see how far you can see. But as you pan across, you'll see the other half of the screen goes dark. So it has its kind of focus beam area, and then it's got a wider rim on the outside of it. But this is mainly to point in a certain direction. Let me show you some of the other things. This has you double click it for a strobe. And that'll give me motion sickness. Alright, let me see if I can get the other one out of here. I'm doing a one-hand switch and getting the wedge out. Alright, now this is the wedge. So it's definitely a lot wider of a pattern. I don't think you can see as deep, but it definitely has a wider field of view. And then this is when you go to the turbo mode. And that's definitely lights up your whole general area that you're working at or you're looking for. You don't have to pan that at all. It just lights up the whole area. Back to regular. Back into turbo. Alright, well, now we're back inside again, and you saw the test. It's not really a case of which flashlight is better than the other, but the situations and what you're going to be using them for. I mean, the Strion LED definitely has a more focused beam I feel like you can see a little further with it, but the Wedge here definitely has a wider field of view. It definitely lights, especially for like rooms and stuff like that, and close quarters, um, inside your house, inside the garage and stuff like that. I feel like the Wedge is probably superior for that. But I'll go through a couple different specs and just run down real quick. So the Strion here has 300 lumens. The Wedge also has 300 lumens, but it has a turbo mode, as you saw. And they don't actually call it turbo. I think it's called throw. And it's like a temporary high resolution output or something like that. And that goes to 1,000 lumens. And that's, you know, pretty freaking bright. The Strion here, you turn on, well, you didn't see it in the video, but it's got a button on. So it's like that. You double click for the strobe. And this one here is got a little lever. And then you just push further for the turbo. And the turbo only stays on for, I think they said an advertised like 30 seconds. But I've seen it go further than that. I mean, it lets those 30 seconds seem pretty long, but it seemed to work more than that. I probably would assume it has to do with temperatures and how long you've been using the light and stuff, so it might go longer than that. Yeah, so those are pretty much the extra features of each one. The Strion has a strobe. The Wedge has a turbo mode. As far as length and height, I don't have the actual measurements for you, but they're about, you know, about the same. This one's a little shorter, definitely thinner. It's got the pocket clip, and the Wedge is actually listed as an EDC flashlight. You know, it's meant for everyday carry, and it definitely fits in the pocket and everything. It's much less cumbersome than this one, even though this is the one I've had for years, and I've been carrying it fine. So charging is, the Strion says if it's on strobe, it'll last 5 hours, and this one says 3 hours, and I guess it's in, you know, a pretty limited time on turbo. The charging methods here are, the Strion goes to a charging deck with these ports here. You snap it into the charging deck. It also comes with this car charging port that hooks into the deck. And yeah, the Streamlight Wedge is just the USB, simple USB cables. But yeah, and like I said, I've had this one for years and years and years, and then I lost it. And I don't know what the heck happened to it, and it also has these bevels, like flattened bevels, which they call an anti-roll feature. So, you know, it won't roll away. So I'm like, you know, if I dropped it, you know, it didn't roll under the cupboard or the fridge or a dresser or anything. So I don't know where the heck I left that thing, but, you know, I've lost them before. They usually pop up within a day or two, and I figured, you know, it's gone now. But, yeah, and I've even left this thing out in the woods and stuff and found it a couple days later after storms and snow and everything. And I mean, like I said, I've had that thing for years, and I beat the crap out of it. It's been left in my truck. It's been left out in the weather. So it's a true survivor. So I definitely, you know, I had that one as a backup already, but then I was like, you know, I need to have another one. So I went and tried out this Wedge. So I don't really have time on this one to tell you, you know, the longevity, but, you know, it's Streamlight, and that's worked for me. And as far as leaving it out in weather, they are what they call weather resistant or weatherproof. I can't remember exactly what this one was labeled as. I think it was like IPX5 or 6. Again, I don't believe that's 100% waterproof, but it's water resistant. And like I said, I've had it out days in the weather, and it was fine. This is actually an IPX7. So, again, I'm not sure if that actually means waterproof or not, but it's more than this one, and I know for sure that I've left this one out in some hellacious conditions. But yeah, man, I'm probably going to leave it there. If I missed on something that you wanted to get touched on, or a certain feature, write in the comments below. I'll try to address it or answer any questions you have. And yeah, like and share, and I'll be back with another one. Alright, I'll see you then. Freedom Fighters out.